Hey teachers, welcome to the Teacher Support Network podcast. I'm your host, Anton McCoy, and today we're diving into the power of wait time, a simple but game-changing strategy that can make a world of difference in student participation in your class, especially for those with learning disabilities. So you ever asked a question in class and been met with silence? Well, stick around because that pause might be more powerful than you think. So, exactly what is wait time? Well, it's that intentional pause after asking a question, giving students a few extra seconds to think before responding. Research shows that giving students wait time can significantly improve class discussions and student confidence. Too often as teachers, we expect immediate answers, and there's a time and place for that. But some students, especially those with learning disabilities, need extra time to process before speaking. Imagine asking a student, what's 12 times 8? Some might blurt out the answer instantly, but others are still calculating the problem in their mind. So without wait time, those students might never get a chance to really participate in the class. So let's talk about why giving students wait time works. Well, first, allowing wait time gives students valuable processing time. Many students, especially those with learning disabilities, need extra time to understand a question and organize their thoughts before they answer a question. Students with learning disabilities often process information slower than usual, but it doesn't mean that they don't understand what is going on either. Many times they never participate in class because they know that someone else will answer for them, or the teacher will not give them adequate time to answer and just call on another student. Second, allowing wait time helps to reduce anxiety. No one likes feeling pressure to answer questions quickly, especially if they're unsure about the answer. A student may be fully aware of what is going on in class, but the pressure to respond on the spot may bring a level of anxiety and fear to the surface that paralyzes them so they don't respond and say anything at all, or they might respond in the wrong way. So sometimes if you get that deer in the headlights look when you call on a student, that's kind of the response that can happen when you kind of are gripped with anxiety because you don't want to answer. And this response is especially bound to happen if it's a challenging academic area for the student or the child. And let's look at ourselves as educators. How many of us like to be put on the spot by an administrator at a faculty meeting, or ever been to a professional development conference and a presenter kind of calls on you in front of your peers? Usually that is not, unless that's the nature of your personality and you don't mind being called on like that and put on the spot, the answer is probably no, that you usually don't like that and you would rather have some time to consider or think about your answer before you do it. So third, allowing wait time encourages deeper thinking from students. So instead of rushing to answer, students can really craft a more thoughtful response to a question that you may ask or an activity you may give them to do. Fourth, allowing for wait time really kind of promotes greater inclusivity in the classroom. On this podcast, we talk a lot about creating inclusive classrooms. And when you allow wait time, you give everyone time to answer questions and participate in class discussions. And you're not just hearing from the student who answers the fastest or who raises their hands the fastest and just calls out. It actually helps to really even the academic playing field. And that really brings a more inclusive classroom environment for all your students. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, allowing wait time builds confidence in your students, especially those who have learning difficulties. When students feel prepared, they're much more likely to raise their hands and positively contribute to the classroom discussion and just to whatever's going on in the classroom in general. All right. So how can teachers make wait time more efficiently done in the classroom? How can we really make it use wait time in a more efficient way in the classroom? So here are a few strategies for you to consider about implementing wait time in the classroom. First, when you ask a question, try silently counting to 5 before you call on someone. See, I just waited and counted in my head around 5 seconds, and it might feel like a long pause, but in the classroom, it can be very effective in getting students to participate. Second, consider allowing students to write down their answers before sharing. This way, there's a pause before having to answer, and it may encourage more thoughtful answers and give people a greater chance of actually coming up with an answer and sharing it with the class. Third, make wait time a classroom norm. It's just something that we do in your class or something I do in my class. This lets students know that thinking before answering is okay. And not only is it okay, but it's encouraged, so they don't have to feel the pressure to always do that and feel the pressure to always have to answer right away. And last but not least, I want to close with this strategy that I used to use in the classroom with my students with learning disabilities, who I knew from the IEPs and formal testing that they had, that they really processed information slowly. So knowing this information beforehand with certain students in my class, I might say something like this. So let's say I'm in a math class, and I'm teaching my math class, and I wanted to have students give me the answer to problems on a math worksheet. Let's say it's a multiplication worksheet. Now, if I knew there was a student who didn't participate a lot and was a slower processor, I might tell the student, okay, I want you to be ready to give me the answer to question number 5 on the worksheet 5 times 4. And I'm going to call on some of your classmates to answer questions 1 through 4 before I call on you. Now, this just doesn't guarantee a response or even a correct response from the student, but at least it gives them time to focus on their specific problem before having to answer. It won't come to them as a surprise, and that would help, hopefully, to reduce any potential anxiety they may have, and they can be included in the classroom discussion through participating. So it's a little small shift, but just having that forewarning that they're going to be called on to do a particular problem, but giving them the time to do it increases the chance of them participating and being successful in giving their responses to the class. So to wrap it up, wait time is a simple but incredibly powerful strategy that can transform classroom discussions and encourage greater participation from your students, especially those with learning disabilities, learning difficulties, or learning challenges. It helps students process information, reduces anxiety, and makes class participation in general more inclusive. So if you're a teacher and you don't use wait time enough with your students, I challenge you to try it out this week. Pause for a few extra seconds after asking a question and see what happens. And have you used wait time in your classroom and with your students? And if so, how's it working out with them? And how's it working out with getting students to actually be a part of the classroom environment and to participate more? So let me know your thoughts in the comments section on our show notes page for this episode. Also, connect with me on social media at the Teacher Support Network on Facebook or Teacher Support Network on Instagram. And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with fellow teachers and check out our resources on the show notes page for this episode as well. That's it for now. Until the next episode, make it a fabulous week. Bye now.